Good day, everyone. My name is Dan of Sharpe Trade, and today we are continuing in our series of video entries regarding trading psychology and emotional discipline. You can find this series, if you're only seeing this video as like a standalone video, we have to put this in every video because what happens is sometimes people will take one of these videos and they like it and they put it up on Facebook or they put it somewhere, which we appreciate. Thank you very much if you share this. But if you do that and you are seeing it in one of those places or on a forum somewhere that somebody posted, please remember that it's part of a larger series of videos, a playlist of videos that we have. It's free on trading psychology and emotional discipline. You can find this series in a number of places, so if you want to see more, go to Sharpe Trade itself, that's spelled with an E, sharpetrade.com. If you go to Educational Series, you should see that along the top somewhere. Click on that. These are free playlists or courses or whatever you want to call them that we have. You scroll down, you will see it there, Trading Psychology and Emotional Discipline. So you click on that, it will bring up the whole series for you. As well, if you want to, because some people like hanging out on YouTube, you can go to the company's website, or the company's YouTube page, excuse me. Go to the company's YouTube page, scroll down, there's a number of playlists, and you should see the playlist there, Trading Psychology and Emotional Discipline. Okay. Self-control, patience, and fear. Self-control, patience, and fear. These are issues that come up again and again. And so what we would tell you is be aware. Right? Just like we've said, there's no magical fix. There's no shot you can take in your arm and all of a sudden you don't have these problems. Trading's a psychological game. Just be aware. So self-control. Trading is an endeavor that requires extreme self-control. Extreme self-control. If you don't have a lot of self-control, you probably won't do very well. And it demands it. If you're going to have any sort of good performance, it will literally demand self-control out of you. It's funny to me, at times in my life, yahoos, and I mean yahoos, investing, trading, yahoos in other areas of life, want to talk to me about self-control. And inwardly, I sort of chuckle. I do. I'm just going to be very blunt about it. I chuckled I laughed to myself. It's like, dude, I'm a trader, right? Try having an opportunity to line up where you're going to be taking on the risk of a contract that's worth over $100,000 and can make you some money. Notional value of the contract is $100,000. It can make you some money, and you're going to wrangle with that, and you got to have the self-control to not jump at it, to wait, to restrain yourself. A lot of traders start jumping at trades because there's an excitement that comes with pulling the trigger. And they get addicted to that excitement of pulling the trigger. There's another phenomenon I refer to, and I've called it this for years, is tick fever. Everybody's susceptible to it. What's the market doing now? 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 Right? I refer to that as tick fever. A lot of times if I'm putting on an intraday trade or like a day trade that's going to last a couple hours, I got to be honest, I'll put the trade on and then I'll put it in the background because I don't want to focus in on it because I don't want to get sucked into tick fever and start macro-managing the thing. What's it doing now? What's it doing now? What's the tick now? What's the tick now? Yeah, some guys can trade for ticks and I'm not saying they can't. And I'm not saying that's viable. I'm just talking about tick fever of micromanaging anything that you're doing. It requires self-control not to get pulled into that tick fever. Not to get pulled into that. Not to start just chasing trades, jumping at trades, forcing trades. And I'll be honest, when guys, it was like, Dan, let me tell you what I've learned about self-control. I was like, okay, you tell me what you've learned about self-control. I mean, I don't mean to sound like too much of an elitist, but it's like, dude, I'm a trader. The entire way I make money is by exercising self-control. Seriously. You have to have self-control not to chase trades, to force trades when the trade's not there. And this leads into patience. The second thing that we wanted to talk about today, which is patience. You have to be patient. You have to be patient. There's a option process that I show folks, right? It's called, I just refer to it as premium flipping. I play both sides of puts. I'm generally in the put. It's only one. I have a couple of different option processes. But this one particular option process, I'm only involved with puts. And I'm interested where the premium's at. Okay? I was just telling traders this not a week ago. There's not always going to be something to do every day. Especially with that process. That process, an opportunity comes along infrequently. I've got other option processes where I can do more with. But that particular process, it's risk advantaged, but there's not going to be something to do every day. There's not, with that particular process, there's not going to be something to do every week or every month. It requires patience, not getting bored and wandering off and, forgetting about that process. It requires patience. Even with other strategies, DTG, those guys, man, they're locked in with like intraday trading, very, very small time frames. There's not something for them to do every day. That's something they've commented on, the different members there. So I don't care what the time frame. The reason I bring that up is I don't care what the time frame is. There's not something to do every single day, and you have to learn to accept that. And many new traders don't have they haven't honed in, they haven't sharpened their self-control yet. They want to chase trades because they're not patient. They're not patient with their returns, right? Taking it outside of the idea of strategies and processes, and sometimes there's not something to do every day. They're not patient with kicking out an 11% year. They're just not patient for it. They don't exercise the proper patience. Just to some degree, just cool your jets a little bit. Okay? So self-control, patience, and fear. Fear's a big one. Fear's a huge one. Some people get so freaked out about trading and the risk that we have to embrace as traders. They develop a fear of pulling the trigger whatsoever. They just can't pull the trigger. They just become totally paralyzed with fear. Some people have what is sort of has been referred to as analysis paralysis. In other words, they analyze everything to the nth degree, and they're so busy analyzing they just can't pull the trigger because it's like, well, there might be one more piece of data that I didn't consider. Analysis, being paralyzed simply by analysis itself. As we said in the previous entries, you have to not only accept uncertainty, you have to embrace it. You're not going to know all the variables. Nobody knows all the variables. Select a risk model that you particularly enjoy and jump in. Okay? So fear is a huge one. Sometimes people just become so paralyzed. Sometimes something you're going to hear us say in this particular series is interact with other traders, other real traders. And when you do that, talk about your losses. That's where you learn. Nothing is a bigger red flag to myself as a professional trader that I'm dealing with somebody that's playing wannabe, playing the I want to be a trader game or want to pretend to be a trader rather than actually being a trader, is they never talk about their losses. They never talk about their drawdown. As we've proven, shown, demonstrated, audited databases, the whole name of the game in the professional industry of trading is, what do your drawdown numbers look like? That's the name of the game. What do your drawdown numbers look like? But there's such a fear of looking bad in front of other traders or other individuals, they don't talk about what's normal to every profitable trader that may be up 1,000% is drawdown. You are going to have drawdown. And there's so much fear that when they start interacting, they really can't learn. And the reason they really can't learn is they don't talk about their drawdown and their losses. They don't talk about the brute, honest reality of trading and the down periods that you have on your way to being up 80, 60, 70, 80%. So we would just say that, please be aware. Be aware of those things that you're going to have to combat. Understand that you will have to hone in on your self-control, not chase trades. Be patient. There's not always something to do every single day. and get over your fears, either whether it's something like analysis paralysis, or whether it's the fear when you're interacting with another trader of saying, oh, I'm down, for this quarter. Any real professional trader is going to say, yeah, so, we've all been there, buddy. You keep plugging away till you get to the positive 10%. There's actually a relationship there. It's very common. So just be aware when it comes to self-control, when it comes to patience, when it comes to fear. And that has been what it's always been. That's simply been our thoughts. Right? It's been our thoughts, not yours, for whatever the heck date is. As always, stay safe, trade well, and remember that love doesn't cost a dime.